George and I'm the owner of Travis George Hair. Throughout my 24 years of international experience, I've had thousands of women leave my salon with that beautifully just blow-dried, luscious hair. Often I hear, Trav, I love what you've done with my hair, but how can I recreate this look at home? Now there's nothing like getting your hair done at a hair salon. You can't beat it. But today, in the first of my many hair tutorials, I'm going to teach you the skills, the techniques, and give you some good pointers so that you're able to recreate that salon quality hair in between the hair visits. So ladies, sit back and relax whilst I take you through a step-by-step process that will teach you the skills to achieve that salon quality straight blow dry. Creating a fabulous, smooth, straight blow dry is as much about the tools that you use as the techniques that you apply. It is really important that you have the following equipment: a powerful hair dryer between 1800 and 2000 watts. A powerful hair dryer is a great investment for any woman. Also, make sure your hair dryer comes with a nozzle. I'll explain why a little later. A ball bristle brush. The bigger the brush, the bigger the section. The straighter the effect and the faster time to blow dry. The smaller the brush, the smaller the section. The more curl, it takes longer to blow dry. Section clips. These are used to secure the wet hair and keep sections clean to avoid frizz. There are also some basic rules for achieving that perfect blow dry. Don't wrap your hair in a towel, as this will absorb too much moisture. Ventilate your bathroom to eliminate all traces of steam. Use the best products you can afford. Speak to your hairstylist for their recommendations. Firstly, your hairdresser will recommend the right products for your hair, but ideally you will need a heat protector and a serum to smooth the ends. It is essential that product is applied all over the head, from roots to ends. Apply the product using your fingers, not your palms. Applying with your fingers guarantees a more even distribution of product. Please ensure that you also massage the products into your root area so that you get nice root lift. Firstly, we are going to section the hair. The first section we create is the last section we are going to blow dry. This is the horseshoe section. This section goes from the corner of the eye to eye and reaches to the top of your crown. It should be no wider than the width of your brush. It is very important to clip the hair away that you are not using in order to keep the hair as moist as possible. If the hair starts to dry naturally, this will create frizz. The next section is taken from the top of the ear to ear. Once again, ensure that the section is no wider than your brush. Clip the section away to keep the hair moist. The next section is taken from the bottom of the ear to ear. Once again, ensure that the section is no wider than your brush, and then divide the remaining hair in half down the middle. Now, in the case of a fringe or a bang, it is important to blow dry this section now, before it dries naturally and starts to frizz up. Pay attention to the model's wrist motion. She is using this to smooth the fringe from the roots to the ends. The hairdryer is in sync with the movement of the brush. Now let's start blow drying from the bottom section of the hair. We divided this into two easy to manage halves earlier. Now we'll start working on one section only. It is very important with any blow dry that we create strong foundations. This applies to the root area. Be sure to get the root area nice and dry, as there is no point having dry ends and damp roots. Remember, your hairdryer must be on a high hot setting and the nozzle must be pointed down from root to tip. Once the roots are dry, start smoothing out the mid-lengths by creating tension. To do this, twist your wrists and brush away from your scalp. Now we are doing the same to the opposite side of the head. you will notice that the hair is starting to show a beautiful shine. This indicates that the hair is close to dry. Now that you've done both sides, you can gather the hair into one big section and finish smoothing it off. Your bottom section is now smooth and moisture free. Now we are starting on the middle section, which is the bottom of the ear to the ear section that we created earlier. Like we did on the bottom section, divide the hair into half down the middle so that it is easier to blow dry. Clip the section that you are not using. Again, this is to keep the hair damp and frizz free. As we did before, be sure to first make sure the roots are dry and smooth before we start on the midsection and then moving down towards the ends. Keep a nice degree of tension on the hair and maintain control of the section with the brush. A good pointer is to lean your head and shoulders forward. This brings the hair to you and makes it a lot easier on your shoulders. This technique will ensure that your arms and shoulders don't get too tired. We have moved on to the top ear to ear section, and we are going to treat this section like every other one we have blow dried. It is really important to really smooth out those ends. Pay attention to the wrist motion. Roll the brush towards the ends with the nozzle following. We have now moved on to the opposite side of the head to follow the same process. A good tip is to position your brush so that there is enough tension before you turn the hairdryer on. As the hair becomes drier, you will notice that the brush will start to slip away from the hair more easily. At this sometimes difficult back area, it is important to lean your shoulders forward to bring your hair to the hairdryer, not your hairdryer to your hair. This technique will make it more comfortable and stop the arms from tiring. Now we are going to move on to the last section, to the top of the crown section. Remember, this is the first section we created, but the last we are going to blow dry. Take a horizontal section, no larger than your brush. Starting at the front, we are going to over-direct the hair in order to create volume. Working the hair in the opposite direction, from roots to ends, will create root lift. In order to get straight ends, alternate by blow drying over the brush and under the brush. We are now tackling the second last small section of the hair on the crown. Again, remember, it is really important to smooth the hair out, take control of the section with your brush before using the hairdryer. You're almost finished your blow dryer. Just apply everything that you have learned so far to the very last section. When you think it is dry, give it a little longer, just to be certain that it is completely dry and frizz-free. At this last stage, you are now giving your blow dry those last finishing touches. Congratulations, you now have salon quality, smooth, shiny, frizz-free hair.